So I thought I said I would do a little talk about these two pages posted by Andy by Will Eisner. You really can talk a lot about this. One thing that's worth noting is Eisner will always bring you from the upper left to the bottom right. He'll always sort of guide the eye down that way. You can even see it before you even look at this page, how we're starting here. Even directions of things are here, and then certainly by the time we get here, it feels like the page sort of ends here. We haven't even read the page yet. Likewise here, down to here, you flow in that way a little bit. It reminds me of this page. Again, we can read these a little later, but you can see that the whole thing flows down to the bottom right, guiding you to turn the page. If we start from this panel, this praying figure reminds us of this from Eisner's own book. I don't know which came first. They're around the same time, I think, his textbook and Life on Another Planet. But here he's talking about the praying figure as a sort of alphabet-like character. You can darken it in. It can be a silhouette. It can look like a character, an alphabetical character, a letter. So here he's using it in his own work. The only thing that weirds me out is this panel overlapping these two, because sometimes you have a tendency to read down like that. That's actually one strange thing I wouldn't have expected. That actually is slightly confusing to me. But anyway, we read it this way. This panel. Hold on, Grebe. I seen you up in the multinational building last week. What are you, a spy? Shh, I can explain it. And then pushing him out this fast. Look at all the fast lines here. There's no heavy darknesses like in most of the other panels in this one. This is fast. It happens really, really quickly. We get a little bit more gravity and grounding in this panel underneath, but the swiftness is continued with all these lines here. And then now we're in a sort of grave situation again. Everything's blackened in. And it's over. The action's over. We're sort of settled into this moment, which is really grim. He's lying about this murder, of course. These sort of sandals have tumbled down to the bottom of the steps, but now they're resting, or at least this one is. This one almost is. And again, that's the debris you see at the end of the panel, at the end of the page. You know, he could have put those sandals up here, but they'd be less interesting. They're the last thing you see on this page. Page 2. Just a great use of background, middle ground, foreground here. Although, because Eisner's so playful with like what's in a panel, what isn't in a panel, these two panels aren't. This isn't really the foreground of that, but it doesn't take away from this. It's not. It's rendered in its own unique way to sort of separate you from that, but it sort of blends in from the lack of borders and things like that. Really, really. Really great. Also, just pay attention to Eisner's use of negative silhouettes, sketchy sort of lines serving as silhouettes here. And contrast, we can talk about contrast later. And then this heavy, heavy black panel with this like there's no genuine lighting here. Otherwise, we'd see more of the bottoms of the figures or something like that. This is actually very much like something Tezuka would have done. And just in calling out these three, the upper halves of their bodies, and just putting them in a black background like that, and where you can only see the star. It's really amazing stuff. Anyway, you can analyze Eisner pages forever. They're so good. This page, I'll just bring it up real fast, and then we'll close out. This is all about a hot summer day in the city, and the kids are filing out of the buildings, but they're waiting for this sanitation man or municipal guy to open up this fire hydrant, and it's boxed in. It's got no background. It's white. It's like this forever happens here, and then it does finally. You don't see it turning. You see the anticipation, or you can feel the anticipation. You just see the moment of it not turning quite yet, and then now we realize it has, and everything spills down to the bottom, spills to the bottom right. Everybody's having fun. Anyway, great examples. Um,